How your mama get here, but holding your head, be like, come here, let me get this booger for you.
I ain't
Yeah,
gonna get it for you, but I
we
am gonna
lied, by
take
the
you
way.
take care. Oh,
Yeah, we lied, by the way.
Happy
Oh, happy
Valentine's.
happy V Day.
Valentine's.
Happy
How you
Love
feel about it?
Day.
Is it like
Every
this?
day should be
Am I doing it
Love
right?
Day.
You right?
But
You got
happy
it right. You
pagan
got it right.
Valentine's Day
Yeah.
Exactly.
for those who celebrate paganism. And happy Valentine's Day. But happy Love Day to every other, lover in the world. Good
Fact.
afternoon, lovers.
I was going to
Yes.
post something about that very thing. I was going to say, like, who came up with this holiday?
Well, y'all
Well,
know
what's
it
the
used
name?
to be.
It's not even a holiday because you still got to go to work
This little thing.
if
Facts.
it was during the
That's
week.
true. I ain't gonna tell
You
y'all the
know,
So
whole
who
background
came
behind it
up
because
with
y'all
this?
wouldn't even celebrate it no more.
no, I think because my daughter was mentioning it, she was like, some dude got his heart broken or something like that, and I don't. She ain't go
It
into
goes
it
a
or
little
something
bit
like that.
deeper. Like they used to like sleep with kids, and that's where
What?
the little you gotta really go a little bit deeper. That's where the little chair bump came from and all that. Yeah.
Oh,
See, people don't even be knowing. Like they be so
They just be
disappointed. Like, I'm
celebrating.
not celebrating. You don't even know what
Like,
you.
I
You
ain't
don't
got
even know
no,
what you're celebrating.
Thank you.
But I ain't gonna
no
lie,
game
To
I
each
wouldn't
his
have
own.
mind if I got a gift today though. It would have been all right. But I ain't celebrating.
Hey, you know what y'all gift is? You and AJ,
What we
hey,
get?
me and Willie.
Woo!
fact.
We
Fact.
winning. We
Don't get no better
winning.
than that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
That's y'all Valentine's Day. Y'all got two black chocolates right
Two
here.
Come
black,
on.
two black
Two
chocolates.
Sexy
black
Come
chocolate.
chocolate
on.
drops.
Come on,
The
chocolate
sex of
drops.
chocolate.
Let's
The
go.
sex of chocolate. That boy good. That boy good.
That boy.
That boy
Come
good.
on, let's go. Y'all play too much.
What we got? What we got, Coach Royce?
All
You
All
you
right,
right,
laid
Roy.
us
Tell
out.
this thing, man.
what's going on, y'all? Hey, happy Valentine's Day, I guess, for those of you who celebrate it. You know, this is the coach's perspective again, man. We talking about this thing that's called love, y'all. Love, love, love.
What
Now, I
love got to
know
do with it?
what love got to do with it. I know that's what he said, or that's what she said.
Yeah.
You know, what love got to do with Ike and Tina? Oh man,
Mm.
we can't talk about Ike and Tina.
It's Black History Month. Go watch it.
Anime, eat the cake,
Eat
anime.
the cake.
Just eat the
the
cake,
cake.
Just eat
anime.
the cake, anime.
Just eat the cake.
Anyway, so man,
Eat the
this
cake.
morning, man, I was on the it was the 7 days of prayer, and they ended it, man. Pastor was just talking about love, was talking about relationships and things like that, and I'm just talking about or thinking about love in the sense that and I know a lot of us have heard this: love isn't love until you give it away, right? And
Facts.
so I'm just thinking about that, man. Like, whoa, love isn't love until you give it away. Like, have we really got this whole concept of love wrong? And so, like, I'm posing a different perspective on love. Like, love was meant for us to give it away without focusing on receiving it back in the same exact way that we give it, even at the same time. So, like, when you think about love, right? Do we really love someone without expectations? Do we?
Off the back. Off the back.
I
I
mean,
got
that's my question. Like,
I got expectations. I'm
go
just
ahead.
No,
Go
we don't. We do have
Initially, no.
expectations.
yeah.
ahead. Initially, okay.
It
I mean,
depending on where you are in life. If you're in your and I'm just saying, I know we can all attest to when you're young.
Yeah.
Right.
In Valentine's Day, low key is the thing that started me on even paying attention to certain things. I'm like, oh, so you got to be in a relationship to get a teddy bear and
Come on.
chocolate. So I'm gonna be totally honest. I was
Yeah,
very
yeah.
shallow even at 13 because that initially motivated me to date is because I didn't want to be left out on Valentine's Day. And I really didn't want to be in a relationship. It was just, I just didn't want to be left out. And maybe because, not to blame this on my parents or anybody, but I didn't get Valentine's Day gifts. If you're not getting these things, I
No.
think naturally you start to desire things. So I can say that I naturally started to desire the gifts of Valentine's Day first. Not really interested in a relationship, but more or less, okay, I'm gonna get in a relationship because I want these things. And to some extent, we as adults continue to do that as we get older. It just, we substitute chocolates for a house and maybe credit, you know what I'm saying? Different
Right.
things. If he got a career,
Status.
it's like we
Status.
start it's just a higher level of exchange. But like you said, initially, I think we're all naturally selfish because you come into this world where people are just giving you love and through service, acts of service and gifts. And, you know, as a child, you just naturally start to expect it and
Do
you're
we
not really thinking
prostitute
about
love?
giving.
Do we
But then
prostitute
again,
love, bro?
Say that
oh,
again.
that's
Do we
good.
prostitute love?
Ooh, and us, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
to some degree, yeah.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
I mean, you don't do it intentionally. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
some do it
telling
intentionally,
you.
Not
some
on
don't.
purpose, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, because I was doing some reflections about me, and I was like, yo, am I really like
it ain't tricky if you got it
I
though.
would give love away, and in my mind have this expectation that this person is going to give me love back, maybe immediately, but like really soon I'm gonna get some type of reciprocation on
You getting
this,
something.
you know. And so I'm prostituting I'm giving what I think is love to this other person in order so I can get something back. And so we're prostituting ourselves in a sense to get some type of exchange or reward for what we give. And so when I ask the question about do we give love freely away without expectations, you know, that's part of bondage.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's. I'm trying to be gentle, but at the same
Don't be
time, it's
gentle. Tell the truth.
all right, all right.
Please.
It's kind of like what you said, Royce. It's like you prostituted, but it's just like you come in. You gotta think about as kids. Like we don't teach our kids to say mine, but some reason they come out and just be like, "It's mine, that's mine, that's mine," because we have been giving them something that which is nurturing. So I know for me, the expectations are in that sense when you don't love yourself because it's like I'm gonna give you something away because I want it back. And I know me and Keisha were just talking about this. We were saying, you got three types of people. You got people that do something because they like something. They got people that do something because they want something in return. And you got some people that do it because that's who they are. Like, they don't look for it the same way that they get it back. So like you said, the question is, which one are you? Are you somebody that's giving out love because you want something in return? Are you giving out love because you lack it? Or are you giving love because that's what you really in your heart want to do, not looking for it back, but just knowing over time, you are experiencing someone else that may have never know what love is, never got it, and then they're going to give it back in a different way because sometimes we give out love and want to receive it the same way we gave it back, and it doesn't work that way. Like we got to stop putting ourselves on other people. Like if I got integrity, I can't think. I in my mind, honestly, I can't think everybody got the same amount of integrity I do. Like the only thing we got the same love that we always giving is grace and faith. That's the only thing we got the same of.
Yeah.
And how you
You
operate
know,
on you. Go ahead, Keisha.
no, I was just thinking, what we're taught. So ever since I was a kid, my dad has always given my sister and I a gift because it's just the two of us. We don't have no brothers. So we were always given Valentine's Day gifts from a kid, even when we became adults, even when we became, we're married. So for him, he was teaching us that this is how a man is supposed to treat you. So it almost sets up an expectation of what you're supposed to have. And so when those things are gone and you don't have those things, I'm wondering, like, dang, did that set me up for failure? Because here it is, the first time in 44 years, I'm like, I ain't getting nothing for Valentine's Day. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, did he set me up? You know what I'm saying? Wrong or what have you? But at the same time, it does set you up for some type of expectation on what you are to accept and what you don't accept. And so for me, I feel like I was set up for success in that area. It taught me how to give, and we also gave as well. But it also set me up to say that, I won't accept anything less than this.
I was gonna say that's the main thing too, is that they're teaching us how to give so you learn naturally how to receive, I guess, because you're on the receiving end, but somebody is really teaching you how to give. Like you said, they're kind of setting you up and having you kind of set the bar, so to speak. But I think, like you said, whether you go through phases of your life where, like you said, where that there's nobody giving you those things. In the end, it's like, I know that I can give, whether it be your kids, whether it be somebody else that's single, whether it be somebody that's not in a relationship. I went to the store this morning. I'm just like, I'm over just trying to get the traditional teddy bear and chocolate. But of course, the whole section in Walmart was wiped out. And I was just thinking, I'm like, why would people think that it's anything intimate about going and getting the same exact thing that everyone else gets? It's just, that to me was like, nobody put any thought in them. They went right to the same section until there was nothing left. You hear me? Like, I'm like, I was just like, don't give me no chocolate. I was looking at my kids. I'm just thinking, even my kids, I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm just going to get them something symbolic of love, but it's not because I don't want to give you the traditional, like you said, Valentine, because it's not just about that. It's about, how am I showing you love anyway at the end of the day? So I'm having a bunch of different thoughts now, but Royce, go ahead. You moderating this, so go ahead and get us tuned up. Go on and get us tuned up.
No. I mean, I think to both of your points, Coach Lakeisha, you're talking about how, your father, he really set the bar. And I think that's good, especially for a man, because now it's like, listen, like, if you don't step up to this point, then I don't know what you're talking about. I got the blinders on, and with that, we have to learn a different perspective, or just to appreciate that, okay, like, my dad did this for me. Like, wow. Like, he really thought that much of me, that he would do this for me. And you think about giving that, on a continuous basis. He was establishing consistency. This is how a man should be consistent in your life. And I know that for a lot of us men, we're not consistent in certain things. So that says, like, okay, listen, for a man to come in my life, he first has to be consistent in what he does.
That's good.
He needs to be consistent to the point where it becomes such a regular thing that what was normal or what was abnormal now becomes normal. What was conscious now becomes subconscious. And so now the expectation is moved from just a reflection to, like, you embody it. Like, this, I won't settle for anything less now. And I think that's a part of who you are now as a person. Like, my love language or how I think love should go should be like this. There's a standard. And if you can't meet that standard, then, and it's not to say that those who don't meet it are less than or can't meet it. But you might have to communicate that to them. Like, listen, this is about my dad did this for me. And so he may go about it differently, but still being consistent in that way.
Yeah.
And so the next one is like, so do we think that love is about reciprocation?
Sometimes. I mean,
and hold on. Now we got kids, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now we constantly do a lot of stuff for our children's, and what do they give us?
I was just about to say that. I think that, and I know that love is being. Like, God is love. Love is being. And at the end of the day, as much as we would like for love to be reciprocated, that's not the purpose of love. It's for it to be reciprocated. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You're supposed to just be love. And as hard as that is, like, for people to kind of accept that, but it's really a beautiful thing. I think it's just the ego makes you feel like something has to be given back to me. It's like everything has to be an investment. To a certain extent, I think it should be, though. But love is not the investment. Like, your love is not to be leveraged. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people do. Their acts of service, they don't really love people. They use the love languages. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you think giving gifts on Valentine's Day and treating it like Christmas, but
Come on,
you're not being loved, meaning that you're not honest. You may not be faithful. You may not be pursuing a long-term life with this person. You know what I'm saying? It's about satisfying the immediate most. So I think a lot of this is like, what if somebody wasn't doing it for you? That's the only way you know that you're acting in love, is if somebody's not doing that. And I'm not saying that they're not giving you any type of love, but I mean that it's not being reciprocated as far as what you think. Because you're measuring the way you think anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to me, you can't leverage love. And I think that's something I learned personally. You can't use love as a like
As a tool.
handcuff
Yeah.
somebody
It's a
to,
weapon.
yeah, like as a
Yes.
perfect. You
Mhm,
can't
mhm.
use love as a weapon ever.
Right.
And to me, when you start doing that, it's just like, you know, water can be drank and it's supposed to nourish our body, but people use it to drown people. Like at the
Come
same
on.
token.
That's
You know what I'm
good.
saying?
Yeah.
So I think that once we get an understanding of love, you wouldn't feel like, oh, I'm missing out on Valentine. Because love isn't defined in one day. It's not defined in one action. It's not
Right.
defined
Over a
in one type of
lifetime.
situation.
Mhm.
Love is loving in all situations,
Mhm.
literally. And
Mhm.
I think that's why when people go through so many things with people, you kind of see the variations of love, because it's just no, it's not. They say it ain't no wrong way to do it at the end of the day. So I think, like you said, the bottom line is you can't leverage love. It's not a transaction. This is not business. And people
Yes.
need to stop treating love like a business. Stop treating a relationship
Mm.
like a
Yes.
business. And this is me.
Yes.
I'm talking to me-self. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because me used to do this. And this is why I'm okay being single, because my love is not for sale. It
Come
is
on.
not to be leveraged. It's not for me to try to pour it on somebody that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that I can use it as a weapon too, like you said, Lakeisha, but I'm resisting the temptation, even for Valentine's Day, even for any holiday, that I feel like
Mhm.
I want somebody there. To me, I'm like, I'm gonna be as loving as I can. When it's time, I could just pour that love, can spill onto somebody. You know what I'm saying? Drench
Mhm.
And
them
it's
completely.
it also goes to the fact that, like we saying, love can't be leveraged, but at the same time, what is love? Because for me personally, this is my first time experiencing any first time of anything without having a companion. So this weekend to me was very different because I wanted to experience the things that I've been used to experiencing. Whereas, so I felt for a moment like, is this love or am I just missing a companion? You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm.
I love myself. And so I went and treated myself to the spa yesterday. I went and treated myself to dinner yesterday. And so it wasn't that I was missing anything but a companion. You know what I'm saying? And so
Cause you
for
know you
me,
love.
you know,
You know I
oh,
love
I
you.
love,
You
I,
know I
oh, I
love
love you. I love you.
We love you, girl.
Yes, we do.
So thank you. I love y'all. So for me, this weekend it was a little bit different because I had to, search within myself to decipher, is it love or is it something else that I'm missing? And it's not that I'm missing love, because I am love. And so I'm not missing that at all. It was just a matter of the companionship. And so when we have an understanding that there is no leverage and that it's just different things that we are missing, that there's a void that needed to be filled, but I filled it myself. You know what I'm saying? As far as treating myself, and I happen to do all that. I think that's where we get it misconstrued, that this is not love that you're missing. You're missing something else, a different aspect. For me,
Routine.
yeah. So for me, it was the routine and the companionship, but it wasn't that I'm
Yup.
missing love, because I am love. Love is me. You know what I mean? And so I think that's where you have to define what is love when it comes to that, because that's how people get through off and feel like they're missing something that they really not. They already have it.
Yeah, that's good. I was thinking about what Ross said about us having, kids, and as for me myself raising my girls, I was that dad that just, showed up at the school with the big teddy bears and the roses, making a scene, and I wasn't doing it for like, the kids and things. I was doing it to show them, like, hey, like, I will go beyond what you think that I would do, to where, like, the first time it was like embarrassing. It was like, oh, my dad didn't show up, this big old teddy bear, and I can't put it in my locker. And then, like, the second time it was like, oh. And the third time they was just like, I look forward to, they look forward to it. And then now, like Coach AJ was saying, I was like, I'm not getting no more teddy bears. I was like, like, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk like what this thing is about, how they feel about it, like, what are their expectations of what love is. And and I told him, I said, love is 365. It's not just one day, and And I told them that. It was like, oh, because because like I said, it was they got to a point to where, we was doing like, give you a plain example. Like, this is what my daughter wrote me. Y'all know I got my new job and stuff. So when I go to work and I come home, this is what I came home to. I came home to her attaching this, which was like, man, like, I ain't do nothing for Valentine's Day, but she did this. And then that caused me to cook and everything else. And I was like, all right. Cause I was like, okay, so she understands, and she's 6. I'm like, she's 6, but she sees and she understands. I'm just like, this is what it's about. Like, it's not about the candy and stuff, even though she wanted some candy. But but I didn't take that away from her. I had to really sit down and like, hey, this is not an expectation, but this is, a standard of understanding. Like, this is what it is. It's not a gift. It's not something that you allowing yourself to do. It's who you are. It's your very, like you said, Keisha, like, you love yourself. And when you love yourself, you won't ever feel like you missing out, or you got that FOMO, the fear of missing out. You don't have that. And sometimes, I mean, as humans, it is very hard to not feel that way when we are created to have that feeling.
I'm gonna just say yes, because I did not wake up like this. Okay,
Exactly.
let me just, because we
Just be
sounded
real.
very,
Just go
I
be
sounded a
real.
little professional earlier, but let me just make it clear. I literally lost track of Valentine's Day. I remember a point in time though where I couldn't go in the store. I'd be like, dang, they already putting up Valentine's Day stuff already. Dang, we can't even get, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember seeing couples used to bother me. I remember seeing posts used to bother me. I'm gonna just keep it real. Like, sometimes you gotta go, like you said, Lakeisha, sometimes you could pamper yourself for the day, but at the end of the day, some people like try to get through the day. It's gonna get to a point where you're not even looking at it like that, because like you said, Willie, it's about that everyday love, B. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on the head twice a year. You do it big for certain days. I want you to spread them coins out all year. I just rather you spread them out with small gifts all year. But it took me being around strong single people, Royce, APOC,
Mhm.
being around people that can help me embrace it and learn like what's the value in doing this myself right now. Like you said, because Lakeisha, I was like, we get caught up in these routines and partnership and social media and this pressure that I gotta be with somebody and I gotta do all this stuff. Like, realistically, you're gonna have phases where even if you're in a relationship, your partner could be at work across the country. They could not be able to be free that day. People act like everybody just wake up on Valentine's Day with rose petals all over the place. It's just oils and candles lit everywhere. Like, this is not love. This is not a movie. We can make moments a movie, but I just like, we gotta like, I just had to remember for like, this is not us just talking from this delicate place. It took time to get here.
Yeah.
And it took thinking about, like you said, Royce, love in a certain way, because we become selfish. We become so selfish with love that we think people owe us.
Yeah.
Bro, you ain't even paid God back for loving you, and you got the
Ooh.
nerve to be talking
Hey,
about
wow.
somebody
wait a
owe you.
minute.
Huge.
When
Wait
the
a
last
minute.
time you prayed? When the
Wait a
last time
minute.
you said, thank you,
Oh,
God, for
man.
waking me up
See?
Go
this
on back
morning?
over in your
Man.
lane.
Yeah.
Go on back in your lane.
So before
Coach.
you
Go on
start
back.
getting all nobody got me, you just gonna give me this and you ain't gonna. Also, I remember being petty, Royce, where it's like, oh, so you not gonna do what I do?
Oh,
I'm
I got
going
something for you.
above and beyond.
You ain't getting this.
No.
You ain't getting this.
This ain't no transaction. It's like, you should be loving, and you should be loving without thinking. It's give me the receipt. And you know how some of us is, I'm gonna come take it back in 6 months if you talking to somebody else, or
Indian
if
gift.
something happened, give me my stuff, what I bought you. I'm not on that. So just know that it takes you being around strong, positive people that have endured this stuff, that aren't bitter no more. We're not bitter from being burnt. You know what I'm saying? You're not bitter from being burnt by what you thought was love. You've been burnt by people. Love will never burn you.
And so, man, y'all, we burning up right now, man.
Sorry, Royce.
We
You
burning up. We burning the oil, man. So, and I'm thinking about everything that you guys are saying, and Coach Will, you said it. Loving yourself. Like, so the Bible says, "Love your neighbor as you already love yourself." So if you don't have a certain level of love for yourself, for me, If I don't love me with the highest level, the highest capacity, how can I give this love to somebody else? So we can only love someone to the capacity in which we love ourselves. We can only love someone to the capacity in which we love ourselves. Understand that.
Say that again, Royce. I don't think they understand what you're saying
You
I'm
can
right
telling
there.
you,
only
big
love
facts.
someone to the capacity in which you love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You cannot, and then you have to stop glamorizing love. You got to stop glamorizing this thing because it ain't in all bells and whistles, hearts, and all this
Come
wind
on, come on.
chimes and birds and feathers and all this other and hearts and everything. No, it
Peaches
is
and
not.
Let
cream.
them.
No, it is not.
Not
I'm
peaches
telling
and
you right
cream.
now, it is not. And so, and that kind of led me to my next question. Like, do we think that love is the absence of pain, hurt, or disappointment?
Ooh.
Royce,
That's
Royce,
good.
you got to go back.
Oh.
I'm not gonna let you just slide and say what you just said like that didn't matter. Like I want to
Oh,
finish.
we
I just
think.
want to finish that statement. I want to finish that statement
Yeah,
when you were
go
saying
ahead,
you
bro.
got to love yourself.
Yeah, go
And
ahead.
when you sometimes we don't love our neighbor because let's be honest, there are days we ain't loving it. We ain't loving ourselves. We ain't loving. I said it right. We ain't
Ain't
loving ourselves. So it's hard to love your neighbor when you going through something. Let's be real.
facts.
Like it ain't got nothing to do with you, but we saying I gotta love my neighbor.
Especially
And
when your neighbor doing different than you and you missing, you missing out on something. So how I'm
Do
gonna love my
doing
neighbor
different,
Okay.
and they over here
doing different.
floating on
Doing
cloud
different.
nine, doing different than me.
Doing
I
different than
can't
you.
love you right now because I'm big mad.
man, big bad. Like and that's to Roy's point. That's why it's so hard to do. And it shouldn't be hard to love yourself, but it is because you have days where you wake up and you like, I'm not feeling it. Like I'm with the craps today. I'm with the crap. Like it's Valentine's Day. I ain't getting you nothing because I've been getting all you stuff throughout the week, throughout the year. It shouldn't take one. That's how some people look at it. Because
Yeah.
I mean, just being honest, like because how my check's set up, I probably ain't get paid Valentine's Day week. You know what I'm saying?
My,
So
It's my off week. It's always my
my
off
check
week.
set up. My checking account not linked to my savings, not linked to my cash app,
It's my
not linked to
yeah.
my.
I
You
gotta
know what I'm
transfer.
saying?
It
hey,
take
you
two
know what I'm
days.
saying?
I got to do
You know what I'm
this,
saying?
and then
Yeah.
maybe what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
like
But
you have
I'm
to wait
telling you,
income tax time.
you
Hey.
might have to wait. I might have to put you on layaway.
Ooh,
And
ooh.
look,
I might have to
that that's the answer to what you just said, Royce. You said, is the absence of love, does it mean pain? What would you say? The absence of love.
Yeah, say
does,
that again, bro.
does love mean the absence of pain, hurt,
Pain,
or
hurt,
disappointment?
disappointment.
Do we
Absolutely.
think love is the absence of pain, hurt, or disappointment? Because we got to think realistically about it, and that goes towards that notion of this glamorized thing of love.
Facts.
Love is all these things that is just like, oh man, I'm not gonna be hurt. I'm not gonna get this. He ain't gonna do me that way. She ain't gonna do me that way. Okay, keep
Ooh,
living.
watch your mouth.
Keep
And you
Mm.
know
living.
what?
You
I
better
learned
you better watch out because you're
Come
dealing with
on.
a human. You dealing
you
with a
Right.
dealing with a whole
human
human.
who
Yeah.
has a lot of different flaws. There's many layers to a person, and you don't know
Right.
every layer that they got in there.
Right.
Mm.
So you
And
can
things change and people change. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So think about it when you are in a relationship. Now, here I am going on 19 years being married and now going through a divorce. People change. You know what I'm saying? Things change. Your situation change. Does that mean that, your love can even change? Because what you used to get down with before it ain't go slide now, especially the more higher up you
Uh-uh.
go and you change, then things change. So that doesn't mean that there's love lost. That just means that my views have changed. The level of love that I have right now has changed. So, but that doesn't mean that I have to continue to hold to an agreement that has changed for me. You see what I'm saying? Like my love my views have changed. People change. And so things won't always remain the same. So you have to level up. And if things are not leveling up with you, you don't have to be trapped in an agreement based on this is what love is. No, that's not love. That's you denying yourself of freedom and being free of what you're going to a higher level. So love doesn't necessarily mean that erase all pain and all the other things that Coach Ray said. That's not it. It doesn't erase any of that. You're just seeing social media and make it look like everything is nice, but it's not. Everything ain't peaches and cream, like Coach AJ just said. No, it's not. You know, things change, people change, and so love doesn't cover those things. We're not God.
Mm.
Right. And I agree with everything you just said too. Like you said, there's no way that you think love is just supposed to eliminate anything. It's not there to eliminate anything. And really that's when I think that we have to learn to love ourselves through, like you said, because you can't just wake up loving yourself all the time. You just ain't feeling it every time, every day. um but to think that you won't be disappointed, and like you said, nobody gonna hurt me, I think that was a mistake I made. Is just you can be cocky and you can become arrogant because you feel like love is gonna back you up, like it's a shield to things, and it's not. Like you said, there's people in relationships right now that are feeling that heavy pressure to perform on days like this, or to make the relationship look a certain way publicly for people, but they're not getting that same pressure, or their things aren't being done when it's not in public. So a lot of people in relationships, they'll tell you it's hard. It's hard to be in love and it's hard to not be in love.
Never thought
It's
I'd
just like
give
the
up.
game. Defense is hard and so is offense. So if you start thinking, oh, because I can score, and you don't think ain't no defense involved, you got to be kidding me. Everything has an opposite. Everything, like, you can't have love without understanding what heartbreak is. Normally, you got to be hurt to understand the value of love sometimes, like you said. And then the
Right.
next thing too, people do change too, especially when you're growing. It's automatic that people change. The
Yeah.
thing is, will love still be a part of your being as you go through the process of changing?
Mhm.
And to me, meaning, am I gonna love somebody enough to be honest when I know we don't value the same things anymore? Because people gonna change too, but when people's values start to change, and you getting pressured to perform, on holidays, to wear matching outfits, and you really don't want to, whatever the case might be. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this is everybody, but I done seen couples get on here. I done seen different people with matching outfits, and I don't understand that. You with somebody in a matching outfit 6 months ago. Now this your king this week. Next six, I don't want to see, because to me, like you said, that's
Come
not
on.
that's not love.
Come on.
That's not love. That's performing. That's
Performing.
performing. Because love is being without a camera, is being without a post.
Yes.
You ain't even. I'm telling you, I'm dreading the day if I ever change my status on Facebook, if I ever change it,
Come
right?
on.
Oh,
I'm
man.
dreading the day because
I don't know how many times I
people
did that
want you a
stupid.
certain way when you single, and then people want you a different way when you with somebody, right? People just ain't got no respect one way or
That's true.
another.
That's true.
They feel like they can talk to you one way because they're assuming you single, and then when you're in a relationship, they still think they can talk to you. So at this point, I'm wondering if it's lust or love driving people. Is it vice or is it virtue that's driving you?
Come
Yeah.
on.
You know what I'm saying? Or is it or are you just pretending and just using our love languages? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because
No
some
doubt.
people master the love languages, Royce, and then when they get heartbroken, like you said, or when I feel pain, or when I get deceived, people can love you and deceive you. People love people and
They
lie to
will.
people too, right?
They will.
Right.
You got kids
right.
that'll lie to you and say they did something they didn't do. You know what I'm saying? So
And
it's
they
not
still love you
about.
though.
Come on.
So, but can I love somebody through, and can I love myself through it? Like you said, because you got to know when it's time to step out, and when it's time, when you just copping out. It's time to step out,
Right.
and then some people just
Ooh.
cop out. So
That's
you need to
it.
know your place, and like I said, that love is not conditional, yo, and we got to understand that, because there's always going to be somebody that love you or that other person regardless of what they've done, how bad they may have seemed to you. And I know that's hard for some people to understand. Oh, it's somebody that will marry the person you don't want, the person you feel like is so wrong that can't
Come on.
change. They will
Come on.
change, because
on.
people can change, but they may not change the way you need them to. And they may not
That's
change
it.
for you.
That's it.
Oh, that's good. And you
Yeah.
just led me to the next one. So
Yeah.
do we think that love has immediate rewards? Because sometimes we can give away this thing called love and we not receive it back for who knows how long. And so love is supposed to stand the test of time. So is our love standing the test of time? Is it standing the test of not being able to necessarily feel that same love that you feel like you're giving out to other people? Can we still have that resilience and that sustainability to give love out over and over and over and over again? And I'm not saying to one person. I'm saying to multiple people. Without
You
what
see
I'm
Coach
saying?
shaking her head, Royce.
I
You see
know,
her
I
shaking
know.
her head like,
Go ahead.
heck. Go on and tell us why. And we
Yeah,
got to get
please.
some men. Look at Willie like,
Right.
y'all must have been on the other side of that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I can't
I'm
because
gonna let
life
Keisha
is
go.
too short. You know what I'm saying? Life is too short. And because I am love, then if I'm giving myself to someone and they're not giving themselves to me, then I have to move around. I mean, people are dying literally every day. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to know that why waste your time for something or be committed to something that you're not receiving in return. If I'm giving myself because I am love, and if I'm giving to myself and that person is not giving to me, I don't have time for you to figure out when you gonna give yourself to me. You know what I'm saying? And it
Mm.
may come in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Because we all express different love languages. But you're gonna have to give me you in order for me to stay. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have time for games. I'm 44 years old. And the contracts, we signed contracts when we were younger. Like I said, 19 years ago, I signed a contract that was supposed to be forever. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if we're not exchanging the same thing that we exchanged 19 years ago, then why do I feel like I have to continue to hold a contract that you didn't hold up your end of the bargain? You know what I mean? So for me, it's absolutely not. I'm not going to give myself to nobody who's not giving themselves to me. Now, what that looks like to somebody else is different. But for me, I have zero time for bullshit, and I ain't got time for the games. Okay,
Royce, look, re-ask the question too. Look at Royce.
She said, I ain't got time for them.
I ain't really here to play no games, and
Hey,
you
So,
already know my name.
we in here.
okay. So the question is, do you think love has immediate rewards? Immediate rewards. Because sometimes we don't have those immediate rewards. And I feel what you're saying, Coach Keisha.
Facts.
Like, okay, if I'm giving you the business, I'm giving you the business. I'm like, I know I'm giving you the business, and I'm not getting the business back. Okay, I will take my business to somebody else who gonna give me the business that I need. I understand what you're saying.
You ain't got to change
So,
your hours.
but
9 to
but but,
5.
but what I'm
9 to
saying
5.
is, are we going to be hurt? Are we going to be hurt? The pain that came from that.
Yeah.
Are we going to take that and say, well, you know what? I'm not giving away this business no more. I'm gonna keep it to myself and be better and have and be better because we didn't get that from that person. Are we going to do that? Or are we going to say, you know what? That was him or that was her. You know what I'm saying? And now I have an opportunity to potentially give this love to somebody else who's going to appreciate it and who will reciprocate it.
Yo, we got a lot of people commenting on Facebook. Even my sister up in here, like this need
Oh,
to
I
be
ain't
on
even see it.
Clubhouse so they can come in and say something. People
We're
trying
gonna
to
have to take
chime
this to
in. We gonna
convo to
have to take it.
Clubhouse.
We gonna have to take it to Clubhouse
Oh
because when you
man.
asked about the reward, like, do you get an instant reward?
Uh-huh.
I know everybody's shaking their head like, no, you don't get the instant reward. But I'm still saying
Be-
yes, you do because I am the reward. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're talking about. It depends.
yeah,
yeah,
If you're
yeah.
talking about something, I think a lot of people look like, okay, most of the time we're looking at, like you said, Lakeisha, and we got a right to. If I'm giving you something and I'm not getting things reciprocated, we talking about actions, then yeah, I may, it's not wrong with pulling back because there's reasons why it's not either being reciprocated. Maybe it's a different
But
type of
again, though,
communication going on, or like you said, I'm realizing that some people will just take your love
mm-hmm.
and drink, and they'll drink it forever if you keep giving it to them. So I think that's, like you said, at some point you got to know your limit too on what you're giving. And like you said, if I'm looking to give something to receive all the time, I don't think Lakeisha meant it like that. She's talking about over the long haul. I'm investing, so I'm
Right.
expecting it to be
Mm-hmm.
equal measure. You know what I'm saying? But at the
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
same token, I'm not just gonna look for something as I'm doing it, because that's not how she works. I know her personally. It's not, I'm not just doing you a favor just so you can give me something back, because in reality, the exchange is only energy. It's nothing else.
That's it.
Nothing you can buy me, give me, show
No.
me other than your energy. It's just different forms and ways that you present it to me, or you don't, like you said. And if you're not doing anything, right? You're not doing anything, or you're just taking, people gonna know the difference. Not like you said, but to look for an instant gratification, like she said, the instant is if you got that person's attention, you got their energy. A lot of people take that for granted. You want a gift so bad, you forget that your gift is sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
You get to take
No
you,
doubt.
dog, you and your gift can go walk around the block. A lot of people ain't been single long enough, Willie. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you ain't been single long enough, you forgot that actually talking to him 8 times a day and knowing where he's at or where she's at, you starting to take that for granted. Now you like, oh, I'm not getting love. Hold on. You getting love. You getting the energy, attention of somebody that don't have to give you nothing.
Yeah.
They don't got to give it to you. So to me, if you want something more than that, then you need to check yourself, because you ain't even giving yourself that type of instant gratification to be asking that of nobody. That's just how I feel.
I mean, they got puppies and cats. That's all I'm saying.
And sometimes people ain't even loving their animals like they supposed to.
They got puppies and cats, but
it's
the animals
easy.
can't talk.
Hey, and that's why some people have pets, because they're afraid to give love to a human. It's easy to give love to an animal because you already know what to expect from them. You already know what to expect. When you get home, you know your dog is right there at the door.
And you're going to keep asking the dog, you got to go out, you got to go out, you got to go out.
Your dog is right there. You're going to get that consistently. But with a human, like, oh, no, you're not going to get that. Not gonna get that. And so it's easy for them to love an animal versus to love another human being, but that's not what love was meant for. It was meant again for you to love someone else and love them without those expectations or conditions on there, because I'm telling you, when we put those things on there, we end up disappointing ourselves.
This is what I say about the instant, the instant love back. For me, I'm the opposite. Only because I'm speaking from a place, like you said, of pain, hurt, frustration, expectation, all that. And I know if I am love and I don't give it in the way that I know how to give it, I would have never met Royce. I would have never met Coach AJ. I would have never met Keisha. And the fact that I've never seen them in person, I love them more than they can ever experience or know. And that comes from a place that I have a place and a space in each one of you guys' heart that I have access to. Because I've been saying this long enough. When you don't know the value of a Royce, AJ, or Keisha, you don't know the value of it, you instantly abuse it. And when you abuse it, you don't use it for its actual purpose of what it's for. So if I abuse the love that I have for you guys, I'm instantly gonna abuse you and myself, because I'm not doing the thing that I am created to do 24/7, even when I don't feel like it. That's why I was just like, even though Keisha is going what she's going through, and we've been through what we've been through, we are able to still love beyond what we can ever imagine, and still have so much more love to give, even though I just felt like I lost everything. Why is it that I feel like I lost everything, but that I can go in another situation and feel like I've gained everything back? Because I know for 19, whatever, how many years I have gave it. I gave it. So if I give life away, it's an elephant that I'm gonna get it back. It may not be instantly, because if we say love is patient, what does that look like? Everybody patient level is different. Everybody pain level and tolerance is different. Some people, like he just said, she ain't got like her tolerance right now is like you got one, you might not even have a half a shot. Like you ain't even got to have a shot, but you got, Royce, you may have a couple of chances. Me, you might have a couple of chances. AJ, you might have a couple of chances. But that's only because we've been able to say, hey, like I know where I stand with it, because I've given so much, and I've been patient, I've been kind, I did all the fruits. And it's like now that I've done that, that doesn't mean that makes me a less person that can't love. I still have so much more to give, and it's really scary to know that you can experience so much pain, so much trauma, and still have so much more to give that you don't even you haven't even tapped in how much you have to give because you've been on that. Go ahead.
Facts. I was
Hey.
just about to say, because you know what? I've been so hurt and I've been lied to so much. No, no, seriously. I've been felt the worst betrayal, and I'm sure everybody can testify to this.
Yeah.
I remember so many moments where I'm like, I cannot believe, yo, I'm just too good of a person. And I'm talking about people that I just love. I would have gave them, probably I'd have stood in front of a bullet for them. Like, really. And for me to be able to look at them, Willie, like you said, because some people have made me love myself and they've shown me so much love that I literally can look at people that have done things to me and I can't even think about that stuff. Like, I've been so delivered but at one point, Lakeisha, I was feeling like, man, I could never love nobody like that again. I'm never going to do that again. I'm never going to give nobody my all. I'm never going to treat. Now I could treat a perfect stranger. I could look them deep in the eyes. Not nobody husband, but you know what I'm saying? I can look somebody deep in the eyes, right?
Not nobody husband. Yeah.
I'm looking them deep in their eyes and I'm like, I'm loving them. And even like I said, I've done counseling with couples too. So just to be able to love people genuinely, and it ain't about how they look. They could be attractive. I'm not even looking at that. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm understanding, you can love anybody. Anybody is accessible, can receive love and can give it. Now, if they choose to or not choose to, that's on them. But me, like you said, Willie, for us to get to this point, where as hurt as I felt by the system, being betrayed, going through different things, I couldn't imagine being a black man, just being able to look in certain situations where I'm not just full of rage because of the betrayal, because of how people are inconsiderate. We got people driving in Michigan that act like it ain't 10 below, like it ain't ice on the ground, and my life is getting spared. Why I don't, it's just like, yo, I just appreciate loving on people now. And maybe because the way I grew up, it's just you look for people to love on. When people love on you like that way, it just spill over into people. So, man, it's a blessing for you to say that, because I'm with you, bro. Because it ain't nothing like coming back from being hurt, Lakeisha. Royce, I know you know, like the worst betrayal, but people don't even know that, because the way you love them, it's like you've never been hurt.
That's it. And no one would even know if you even been like, if we went on here weekly sharing our story, you couldn't look at neither one of us and tell that we've been through any of those things, right? Because we just an open book and we tell our business on here. You know what I'm saying? Because we still love, we still keep it moving, and nothing have us stumble. You know what I'm saying? And I was looking on here on Facebook, since they telling us that we can be on Clubhouse and Facebook at the same time. But someone,
I didn't know that.
Kuhani, I know, I didn't either. She texted me telling me how to do it. But anyhow, Kuhani said, don't stop loving, just stop giving it to the wrong person.
I feel different. I'm devil's advocate. I'm only saying that because even God had a Judas.
Yeah, I'm on that too. It ain't always it ain't always the case. Sometimes that person it stays in your box.
Yeah.
And it just depends on the situation. You got to learn to love people anyway, where it's like you said, it's not a transaction no more. We got to learn to stop taking
I'm still supposed to do me.
I got surplus, because when you got surplus love, you ain't like looking like, oh, I need to get. When you broken love, you like, oh, I got to get that back. I need my change. Give me my change. Like Yvette said, the baby boy. Give me my change. You know what I'm saying? You dang near negative, and you trying not to go into with like overdraw. You know what I'm saying?
And check this out. So in the Bible, it talks about Peter and Jesus, right? And Jesus goes to Peter and was like, yo, you about to deny me 3 times, homie. So just imagine you going to your homeboy, your homegirl, you about to disown me 3 times. You about to disown me 3 times. And he was like, what? Like, what you talking about? You know, I love you. I'm a ride or die.
Yeah.
I'm a ride or die for you. He's like, okay. I'm just telling you this is what is about to happen. And so here you go, Jesus on the cross, man. He get taken up, and then he said, before the cock crows, you're gonna deny me 3 times. And so once he denied him, twice he denied him, 3 times he denied him, and Peter in his heart, like, man, I love you, Lord.
Something. Yeah,
I love you. Like, why would I do that? But that's part of human nature, self-preservation, things like that. But at the same time, Jesus, he loved him.
Mm-hmm.
He loved him. And so when Jesus, was raised from the dead, he said, first, go tell Peter. Go tell Peter. He said to go tell Peter because he knew that Peter was feeling bad about, like, man, I just denied him 3 times. I just disappointed him. And so for us, we have to understand that with love, like, there's gonna be disappointment, there's gonna be pain, there's gonna be it's gonna happen. That's just a part of the process of love. And so it leads me to just having the understanding, because Jesus, he loved himself. He knew he was love.
Yeah.
And so do we truly love ourselves first with the same love that we want to give somebody else?
That part. Because sometimes we don't want to. That's what it is. Like, if I
facts.
was molested, I didn't come on, man. Like, I didn't want to. I'm not gonna love you. Like, you just molested me. Like, no. No. Like, no.
And
but then when it came where I had to forgive you and we face to face and we have that conversation, like, what happened, why it happened, it had nothing to do with me loving. Nothing to do. It was the fact that, like I said, once again, there's 3 types of people. What you lacking, you want something in return, or are you being that physical? She wasn't in her physical self.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't loving herself, so she wanted in return. So when you wanted in return, sometimes you manipulate, sometimes you abuse, sometimes you do all these other things. But and like somebody said, you got to have boundaries. Yes, you can have boundaries, but that doesn't mean, like I said, you can be afar. I still can love you from afar. I just know how to operate with you. And that's what Jesus knew. He said, hey, you're gonna deny me 3 times, so I'm gonna operate, this way, because you still gonna do what you do. And you gonna come back and still be like, man, I want to kill myself because of what I've seen. Like, people have never seen what real love is, even though they've been in relationships when they thought that was love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about, I'm just thinking about what I do as my profession. I go to random people, never met them, and people who know me can honestly say, like, yep, I just got an inbox. And when I would inbox them or just speak to them, they'd be like, what's wrong with you? Like, why like, you love me? Like, why is that? It's like it's taboo. Like someone can't do it. It's like why is it that I have to know you at X amount of time to be like, okay, that identifies, I know you 2 years, okay, now I can say I love you. Like, that doesn't, like, love don't have love don't have time on it. But we put time on it because we live in it. You see what I'm saying? Like, God don't put time on it because he live in eternity.
And so there's a comment by and I don't want to mispronounce her name.
Kuhani.
Okay. Kuhani. She said she disagreed with what I said about pain being a part of love. Now, have your kids ever hurt you? Has your mom or your dad ever hurt you, but you still love them? And that's the kind of love I'm talking about.
Unconditional.
And it could be like growing pains. When I hear you say pain, I'm thinking, because it could be, like she said, toxic pain could be inflicted when somebody's inflicting pain. So that I think you're referencing like growing, where like there's no relationship that doesn't like there's not a struggle or some type of pain in the process, because in growth it can be painful, meaning your legs get tight and your hamstring is paining you, but you're not injured. You just hurting, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
no, but the pain that I'm talking about is like
we definitely got to transition over, Because we got a lot of action going on. Everybody has something to say, but we can't communicate back and forth.
Oh, it's a hot topic. It's
yeah.
a hot day
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you
it's,
already know. We already
it's
know.
one of
We
those in
we
between.
in
You
hot
got
topic
people
land.
that's right in the middle. Like they want to go this way, and you got to go on this. The thing about love, there's no, like I said, there's no right or wrong answer.
Oh
Right.
no. This
There's
is
no
this
right or
is
wrong
this
answer.
is this is free thought.
Yeah, ain't no right or
Yeah.
wrong
Free
answer.
thought. I mean, and man, I love it. Engagement is where it's at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna read what Katriva says. She says the integrity of a thing is compromised when something is missing or depleted, i.e., missing a step in building a house, and something is bound to go wrong, and the mishaps will happen. Same things with humans. Yep, I agree with that
Yeah.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why that's where the pain in the process could come in, because maybe, like you said, a lot of people get into relationships or in love. We fall, as they say, we fall in love. So that means that we slipped, right? We didn't walk into love. People like to use that as saying. So I agree 100%. Like a lot of times you could get caught up in just the beauty part of, engaging with people that a lot, and happens all the time. I got married and I got divorced because there was just some key things that I didn't look at it myself. Like she said, it's like building a house. Building a relationship is like building a house. And you got to know that when you rehab and building a house, you're gonna have run into issues. What if there was a water damage here, when you're rehabbing a house, or what if there was an issue with electrical? Just different things, like she said, can happen. And I think at some point it causes different type of pain, meaning the pain of stress. That could be pain. So we looking at different levels of it, because I done had, like I said, it's people in relationship like, yo, this is hard. Being alone is hard. Being in a relationship is hard, because being a human soul on this earth is hard. I just feel like at some point, love should not be hard, though, right? Love is not meant to be hard. It's
No
not meant
doubt.
to be hard. Like, so I think that's where we kind of understand, and where a lot of people confuse relationships with love. A relationship don't automatically include love. It just take two people relating to one another for it to be a relationship. It don't necessarily have to be off love. So I agree with what Katriva's saying. We definitely need to do a clubhouse on this. Like I said, relationships and people's perspective, because every experience is unique. I don't believe there's a right or wrong answer, because everybody's experience is unique all the time. So at no point is two situations identical. That's why I don't believe in just taking advice from one person all the time, or just somebody that you think knows you. It's always an advantage or a disadvantage in getting information. I think just receiving it, you know what I'm saying, and being able to decipher, because you can't make all the mistakes yourself. Like, there's just not enough time to make all the mistakes. So you learn from the mistakes of others. So I think just people sharing their experience, I think, is always powerful, because like you said, people got their own unique experience, and I haven't been through everything, nor do I want to go through everything. Not at all.
And I'll say this: there was a time, when me and my oldest daughter, we didn't have that ideal relationship, and she was with her mom, and she said some things, man, that really hurt me to my core, and it was painful. But I still chose to put that aside and say, you know what, she's acting in a way because of her environment that she's in. And her environment is what helps to perpetuate that type of behavior. And so when she was able to come live with me, everything was totally different. Totally different. And so I'm definitely not into, staying in a toxic relationship, because I was in a toxic relationship for 9 years. And I had to come out of that joker. I couldn't take it. And so that's not the type of pain that I'm talking about. But the process, as love evolves, you're going to go through some of that stuff. But, y'all listen, I appreciate the comments and the feedback that you guys are giving. And so lastly, we got to remember what love is, right? I want to remember, and first of all, love is a choice. It's a choice. It's an action. It's giving with a clear conscience, zero expectations, to someone that we think is valuable. It's a choice. It's patient. It's kind, does not envy, does not boast, is not rude, is not self-seeking, is not easily angered, keeps no record of wrongs, does not delight in evil. All of those things, right? Rejoices in truth, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres, and then love never fails, right? That's the whole passage right there. But man, getting to all that is a challenge.
Facts. We need Katriva and Kuhani to come on the clubhouse because
telling
I'm so and I know Katriva, I've been listening to her for a minute too, but I would love, like, this is
And
something that
Kahani is my sister.
yeah. So we definitely need to, because some of your perspectives, I mean, are very powerful.
Oh, that's deep.
And this is something that we definitely can carry over on Clubhouse if y'all down. I don't know if y'all Androids or if y'all no, I'm just playing. I know they both iPhones. No, but Royce, this is good because, like I said, we rarely get I ain't gonna say rarely, but to get our men involved in this conversation, because we're so used to, at least me, hearing a lot of women talk about the trauma of relationships. It's always a group of women talking about, and I'm always, because I play with the guys I cut here, I'm always the one trying to speak on behalf of the fellas, and they don't be wanting to hear what I got to say. And I'll be like, look, I'm just a referee. Like, I feel you, but I'm here for the people that can't speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always, and I do this for the women too when I'm with the men. When I'm with the men and I'm cutting hair and I'm on the sideline, I'm the only woman in there. You think that they not having a full-blown conversation about the woman that's blowing the dude up at the gym, and I got to explain to him, like, look, if you got a history of doing certain, it just, we have to have these conversations with each other so we can talk about, like you said, distinguish between trauma and toxicity and what pain means and what it should mean in a relationship. Like she said, it's just a lot of key words that they use, and she said trauma, getting shared trauma versus getting that confused with love. Like, these are things that we need to talk about. You know why? Because our young people are really confused about what the heck love and they think relationship goals and pictures and how things look
are the matching outfits,
and how things look can embarrass you once somebody does something else that they did with you publicly. So they going through an even worse phase to me, because there's just a total disregard to respect. And it's because we not having enough conversations in front of them with men and women talking. So I definitely think we need to talk about the good, bad, ugly, great, and beautiful.
That's it.
For sure. Because you got whatever love is, you also got to talk about what love is not. And I think that's what we don't really talk about what love is not. Like, everybody know, not everybody. Some people know what love is, but they don't talk about what love is not. So that's why it's easy for people to be like, stay in a toxic or abusive relationship, because it's like, well, I know what love isn't, but this is what love is not. And my thing is, I always based it around, and I told Keisha that we talk about this all the time, like, your belief system overrules your facts. Whatever you believe, like, this person is
say that again. Say that again, preacher.
Hey, whatever your beliefs are, your facts will be disregarded. Because like I said, we got religion, we got different people that believe in different things, and I'm not here to make nobody believe in nothing. But if the fact is this, like, you have a black eye, and and I tell you about your black eye, and you believe something completely different,
your black eye,
you not changing that black eye. You gonna have another black eye.
Yeah,
come on.
Straight up.
You got two swole eyes, and your belief system is, well, I see they gonna do better. Okay.
No.
Right.
Okay.
That's why I believe that
there.
love is not a choice. That's exactly why I believe that love is not a choice. I believe how you give it and how you show it is a choice, but love is not a choice. Yeah. And so, because
my kid ain't got no choice.
No, so I'm done. Let's switch over to Clubhouse. It's enough.
Willie, like you said, I believe it too. Like love is being, when it goes to the core of it, but you do have a choice on how you express it.
That's it.
Yeah.
How you give it.
Love is being.
There you go.
But how you express it is your choice. God gave us free will. Yeah. So he not, it ain't a question if you should or should not love. You supposed to be love.
Yeah.
And you need to focus on how you gonna deliver in service in your love. Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like automatically, if you believe, and the thing is, on this note, there is a spiritual law called the law of reciprocation. Okay, the law of
Mhm.
compensation. Right? I'll give you two laws: law of compensation, the law of reciprocation. If you and you can go into the law of attraction if you want to, but at the end of the day, you don't have to get anything from somebody. Particularly, you don't do that for them. God, the universe, whatever you believe, will bring those things back either through the person you gave it to or in or around that situation. But you can't tell me, Royce, that if you keep loving on somebody without thinking about getting it back, that they won't in turn. It's just like practicing something every day and you don't think you're going to get good at it. It is no way that nobody can stay around you if you constantly are pouring and showing love, because that's who you are. And if it's not something you can show every day, then maybe you ain't been practicing being love.
Yes.
You just ain't been practicing it.
True.
So the universe can only give you what you're giving.
What you're
and you
putting out.
cannot give on condition. You got to learn to forgive. And this is easier said than done. Of course it is. But guess what? We've done it. So you're going to have to continue to do this. And does it not pay you better later, Lakeisha? Does it not pay you better to go ahead and love yourself when you feel like I ain't got nobody to love right now? Love on yourself.
That's
love
it.
on the person that you don't know that needs you to help them with $1, whatever. Pass your love. Express your love. Get good at that instead of worrying about how well you can pay attention to it coming back.
And
okay,
that's where
stop
the law
looking
of
at the
attraction
scoreboard.
come in at, because that's when you're gonna attract what you're giving. And so that's that other law. You know, you gave two of them, but the law of attraction is whatever you putting out there, you're gonna draw back. So if you only toxic and you have these toxic behaviors, then that's the same type of relationship you're gonna draw. That same relationship that's giving you that black eye, and that's how you're gonna end up having two. You know what I mean? And so that
because
you keep
man, listen,
attracting the same thing.
love exposes what you don't give.
Right.
It exposes like love exposes what you don't give. That's why if I know I can give it, I never have to question it. It's just when it exposes something I ain't been doing, and then now that person is asking about this that I haven't been doing, and I'm like, oh, like I don't want to talk about that. Oh, don't go there. Like, you know, let me love you the way that I've been doing. It's like, no, like the way you've been doing it is you ain't been loving you.
Right.
To love me the way that I'm trying to be loved. I ain't asking for a lot. That's what people be like. I'm not asking for a lot. They say that all the time. I'm not asking for much. I just want you to cook. I just want to spend time. I just want to hold your hand.
Oh, I just want you to cook. Yeah, I just want you to, I mean, I'm telling you, man. But it's some of those expectations that get us in trouble, though. Those unrealistic expectations. I'll say that. Unrealistic expectations. But man, I mean, this whole conversation has been amazing, y'all. Give yourself a round of applause. Round of applause.
Oh, good vibes. Oh,
round of applause. Good vibes.
Y'all know we loving each other. We got the two bumblebees dressed alike, and me and Royce dressed alike, so we looking alike.
Yep.
Busy bees.
Looking like
Queen
black
bees.
ninjas over here.
busy bees.
Queen bees.
Yeah. Queen bees.
Good.
Black bumblebees over here. Where y'all honey? Where the honey at?
I am the honey. I am the honey.
I'm the honey.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Where the honey?
What is happening right now?
Didn't you hear me when I said, hey?
Y'all famous over there, huh?
What are we doing?
Oh, man. Hey, I went and bought some sparkling cranberry white grape juice.
Okay.
In a whole wine bottle, and I'm about to
Sparkle.
cheers. I'm about to cheers with my three. Well, Levi too little. He ain't got no glass. But me, Mo, and Ari, I'm just about to tap the glass and celebrate just being alive and celebrate love.
Yeah.
You know? Not because of Valentine's Day, but because we get the opportunity to.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. So shout out to everybody that is sitting on a love seat in love today. And shout out to
everybody,
those.
all 19 people that's on. I love, or 29. I love I can't say everybody's name, but everybody got love on this end for me, especially AJ, especially Royce, and especially Keisha. Like y'all know, y'all.
We love y'all. We appreciate y'all spending this time with us. We really do. Shout out to Katriva. The comment section been going on. Sarah,
Kuhani.
We love y'all.
Kuhani, Katriva,
Nita,
y'all was blazing over there.
Kuhani, thank you, girl. We gonna get this on Ashley Don live from New York.
Yeah,
New
man.
York in the
yes.
house, right by my homeboy Strick. Thank y'all. Like it's really love. Like I said, for people that don't comment, just for watching, yo, just your energy, we feel it. We appreciate it. Hopefully you get some value out of it, Coach. Like
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all. Royce,
Yeah.
you laced us out with these topics today, man. I'm sure we didn't get halfway through your list, but because it's too engaging, man.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just the
That's
gift.
it.
So if we
Yeah.
got a to be continued, let us, we gonna get it on. We gonna get it in.
But
And
just know in the
Sunday,
morning, 6 a.m. in the morning, we're gonna
6
be live.
a.m.
We're
6
gonna be
in the
live. It's gonna be
morning.
Fun Day Monday. Y'all already know. So go ahead and be on Clubhouse, the Coaches Cup.
yeah.
Get
Well,
your
we
cup
can
of
continue this
encouragement. Bring
conversation
it.
next Sunday, 4 o'clock next Sunday.
Yeah.
Get
Come
on and
on.
popping. On and popping. So any last words, y'all? Any last words y'all want to give to the great peoples out there?
You are smart.
Don't be
You are
bitter.
kind.
Be better.
You
You
is
are
important.
important.
You is important.
Yes,
You
you
is
is.
You
important.
is love.
Hey,
Love yourself. Love
love
yourself.
yourself. That's
Man,
it.
that's right there. Like,
That's it.
like,
Love
don't
yourself.
depend on anybody. Stop depending on other people to give you what you need to give yourself.
And then before you go, you gotta say, I know you wanna leave me, but I
But
refuse to let you go. If I got to beg him,
I ain't
see,
begging. But
hey,
you get it. No, I'm just
hey,
playing.
for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
No. I get it. I got you, man.
Let's go,
Right.
Rob.
Let it go.
So,
Yeah, coaches.
Kuhani, what Kuhani say?
Do we
So
do
y'all
this
do
every
this every
Sunday?
Sunday.
Yes, man.
Every Sunday, unless we got something going on.
Unless
But
it's
every
Super
Sunday.
Bowl. But we done with Super Bowl.
Right.
So
We
Yeah, we
done with
done
Super
Super Bowl.
Bowl.
We done
I
Super Bowl.
did try to
they
get up out
canceled
of there
that
as soon as
quick,
they
didn't
went
they?
back.
Lakeisha, you was like, should we
Right.
pass today? They was like, yep.
Super Bowl.
Next.
Yep. I'm like, should we pass?
How y'all
Should we
gonna dog
pass
us out though?
Valentine's
It was
How
Day?
y'all
no
gonna dog us out
conversation.
like
It was
that
a
though?
yes and a period. That's
Yeah.
it. Yes.
Yes.
Did we even? I was like, yeah.
We didn't even
Hey
discuss
Royce,
it.
we
I
get a
was
buy.
like,
We get a buy because the women didn't
It was
they
a
didn't
buy.
do theirs
Oh
by
yeah,
themselves,
yep.
and we did ours by ourselves.
Yeah, we
So
did
if
buy our
they gotta pick a
lonesome.
Sunday where it's just
Keisha,
them, and
I
we
was
get to
late.
relax.
I had a call that went over
that was my
and
birthday.
yeah,
Man,
I didn't
He
get
was
on
in a
either.
birthday
I was
celebrate.
watching. I didn't want
Celebrate
to
the
jump
I
in
was
y'all
birthday.
call late.
celebrate.
I started
but
watching.
but
Yes.
so your comrade wasn't there. Said we needed her. She just left us.
I came in, Lakeisha, but I just watched because I was so late. I was like, I'm not gonna do that to them and interrupt their good kind. I wanted to sit in the back and watch them do how they do.
Oh, that's right, Coach. Yep. She was.
Right.
She was in the
We got out
back.
of
Yeah.
hand. We
I
got
They
out of
did
did
hand.
catch
though.
the
That's
replay.
what it was. She was
The
in the back
replay,
chilling.
they needed somebody to
To
referee
moderate.
them because
We, we
I
missed
saw
the
the
queens.
replay. I was like, oh my God,
We
how did we
missed the
let them
queens,
go?
y'all.
We was
We,
missing
we,
something.
we missed
Missed
y'all
our honey.
queens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we the yin and the yang, so y'all can't, sometime a little, we might be a little too top heavy on one. We ain't trying to be on. We, trying to get we want the bottom and the top. You know what I'm saying?
right, even it out.
And the top bunk, God, Lord have mercy. Well, go ahead and take it. Go ahead.
Okay,
Go
maybe
ahead.
it's time for me to get off. It's time for me to get off.
You take the bottom top bunk, the back bunk, the side bunk. Go with your bad self.
Oh, we out. We out.
We out of this thing. We'll see y'all next week.
Touch. All right, y'all. Peace, man.
We'll see y'all Sunday at 4.
Oh, good.
Let's get it.
Hey.